All right. Welcome back from the summer hiatus. The professors, we ain't crazy. We're licensed.
Hey, back in school.
What up, though?
Yeah.
School's back in, sucker.
These
So hopefully,
professors are back in too. Bitch.
that's right, with fire. Hopefully everybody had a great summer. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's your name?
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I am Dr. Mark Brana.
Casey Casillas Nichols.
That bitch in charge.
Holla, holla.
Right. So you don't even do your intro no more. Money making Mark. Casey, head bitch in charge. Shamika, Tesla queen.
Tamika Green, Tessa Queen. So,
Tessie.
what? Oh,
I'm just saying the Tessie.
Tessie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I actually saw that one of the Teslas pulled up. I'm like, damn, Shamika's upgrading.
Yeah, I know.
No, 2 more seasons.
2 more seasons.
Let's
I'm
see.
mad at it.
Let's see.
It was the big one.
2
I was
more
like,
seasons.
damn.
Yeah, shit was nice. I like that color blue.
Yeah. So, hopefully everybody had a good summer. We're excited to be back this week. We are talking about life coaches.
Go give him the title, Mark.
Fuck your life coach. We're licensed.
Facts.
So,
Wait. Tried it. So these two right here, we all went to lunch and we're talking about what our episode was going to be. And I feel like something happened that I don't know about, or something went on behind the scenes for us to be talking about this shit today. And it was too loud in that restaurant, so I couldn't hear shit because we were jamming at the end. So I want to hear this. Like what prompted this?
Okay. So, well, first, it was a listener who kind of said, does credentialing matter, right? So that kind of sparked a little bit of the debate. But I for sure was the one who was so big on this title because, listen, Malcolm Mimi came out because I get so mad when I'm going to go into it, but my husband be like, damn, that get you mad. Like, the whole debate of life coach or therapist or this and that. And so, yeah, I got a lot to say.
Well, please say it. What's the first thing?
So,
what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear
what
life coach?
upsets you most about life coaches?
So let's be clear. It's not that it's life coaches itself.
Well, wait.
Okay.
Let's pause. I feel what is a life coach? Let's explain.
Yeah. That's
what's
a
a
good
life
one.
coach?
Okay.
All right. So, my understanding of what a life coach is, so basically they help people allegedly work through their issues by coaching them to make changes in their life. Not too dissimilar from what therapists may or may not do. That being said, my biggest issue with life coaches comes in the fact that it's an unregulated field, and the average coach that people are paying thousands of dollars for sessions has a bachelor's degree. And typically, on average, life coaches have bachelor's degrees, some in psychology, some in social work, but a lot in business. And granted, some may specialize in business coaching, but I look at what life coaches do, and it can be sometimes troublesome because I've worked with clients that have life coaches as well as me as their therapist, and sometimes the people that are doing this, they don't know what they are doing.
But who is paying for these life coaches? Because I feel, well, I wanted to hear everybody's definition of what a life coach is because I know it's different. Like everybody's viewing it a little bit different. So wait, pause on that. Put a pin in that one. What is your definition of a life coach?
It's the same exact as Mark, but the thing is, there are some people that don't even have a degree.
Yes.
That are life coaches. So I just seen on Instagram where you could become a life coach for $7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real shit. Okay. So
Yeah.
So let me.
and I'm going to pass it to you before I go off.
I agree. That's what a life coach is. A life coach is low key. It's but it falls to me. I view it as falling into a different category that I don't want to say is more respectable. That's not what I'm saying. Just
acceptable.
Yes. So
Yes.
like a peer support person.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Like it don't have to be the stereotypical peer support person, but
Right.
if you went and did your doctorate and did all that shit and I wanted to learn from that, then I would do that. You know what I mean?
Like a mentor?
A mentor. There
Okay.
you go. There's that. There's there was one more I was thinking of. Not interning. But there's other things that you can be a case manager. You can be whatever, you know what I mean? And I realized that I feel like people jump into this because, everybody thinks they have the best advice. And this is the best way to give advice to people and make money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about a degree or anybody coming for you.
Yeah.
Which is super dangerous. Like it's
super dangerous.
It's so dangerous.
Well, and it is. And in my experience, sometimes and this isn't all the time, there are actually some life coaches that have similar education levels to what we carry, but what people don't understand oftentimes is the regulation end of what we do versus what coaches do
exactly
matters. We're accountable to the state, to the boards we report to, and we cannot work without a license. And with coaching, that is not the case. There are some credentialing boards, but they hold no power over regulation.
Have you seen what they're called?
I've seen some. Go ahead.
So I saw like a credentialing thing because I wanted to do some research before it came out here and was putting bullets into a gun.
Fire.
And then I saw that they had I went in like as if I wanted to sign up for one. And the first program, it was a CPC certification. Said CPC on it. And
let people know what CPC is.
The real CPC?
Yeah.
Or this CPC?
Both.
Okay. I can't tell you what the other one was because I don't remember. But
Certified professional coach.
Okay.
Is typically what it is.
And go ahead and hit us with ours.
Clinical professional counselor.
Okay. So there's that. And then if you pay an extra $250, then you get the master. Not masters. Master of whatever.
Yep.
So
that's a play on words.
And basically layman's term or whatever that word is.
Yeah.
It's like McDowell's.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
without the big
like coming
Mick.
to America. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and it certainly is.
Oh, that's
and
a good one.
I mean, I'm saying because then people be putting that behind their names.
They will. They'll put it behind their names. They look like they carry the proper credentials. They will often venture into avenues that are extremely dangerous for certain clients, that are at risk for depression, suicide, and my experience when I've had clients that have had coaches, there have been instances where the coach actually has told the client that what I am doing, I'm doing things wrong. And
that you as a therapist was doing?
And that's not what they should be doing. And it was completely counter to what we were doing in therapy. And it wasn't clinically what I would ever suggest with the client. Ooh. And it becomes this conflict of, well, who are you going to listen to? Your life coach that spent 3 weeks doing a course online.
And I only had to pay them like $2,500.
Right.
Or $7. That's what's crazy is that they're charging so much. So much money.
It's ridiculous.
Just to be like your homie and just talk to you and like, hey, go, you can do this, bro.
Yeah.
You can do
Yeah, you can run that marathon.
Yeah. Like it's literally a motherfucker out here with
go open that
pocket
business
full of like stones and crystals and just telling you what to do and aligning your
brought up the
shiraka or
stones
whatever.
And crystals.
But I am just being real. Some people are taking full advantage of people that are gullible. So I'm not saying, of course, all life coaches, because I have friends that are life coaches, but they're in their lane.
Yeah.
When you step over into a therapist's lane, then you swerving and it's reckless and it's not okay. So when you start talking about trauma or sexual survivor or suicide and things like that, you have fucked up and crossed the line.
Okay, that's a great topic to bring up, the suicide one, because just hear me out.
I am, and I'm gonna take a sip.
All of us are required to take that suicide class on all of our licenses, all that
keep
shit,
your license.
to keep your license, right? But then also in the behavioral health field, that's required of everybody,
right,
to take a suicide. So I feel that that's kind of like sometimes it opens the window. It's like the gateway drug to doing bigger things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, if I was able to de-escalate this person that had a suicidal ideation, I can be on some shit. You
right.
know what I
I'm
mean?
certified to do this when you're not. I had somebody recently tell me about, oh, no, that's not trauma. This is trauma. And I was like, what the excuse me? Like, first of all, I specialize in trauma. I have the certification to prove it, but this person doesn't. It's something they want to do. But I was thinking, that is so irresponsible, though, to think that you may have watched a video, you haven't really done any work to say, no, this is wrong. This is this. And I'm thinking, you gonna tell me?
But that's the thing.
You got some balls.
Yeah.
Like, the people that want to get it are trying to tell the ones that already have it, like, how to do it.
Right.
Bitch, she literally wrote the book on it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and lived it. But this person told me, no, trauma is.
Yeah.
But then when you go back and tell me you wish you were doing this, and this as a therapist, you may not have took the steps to get there because you want to be here. But don't disrespect the ones that have put in the work to get here.
Yeah. So how do you guys look at the field of life coaching being unregulated? How do you feel it impacts the public?
That is reckless. Like, excuse me, just give me the fucking mic, because
it's right in your face.
This make me mad because
it really grinds my gears.
I'm so mad right now. No, for real, because these people, if something was to really happen or somebody was injured in such a way, who are you going to report to? You know, like, it's some messed up therapists out there, but if something goes wrong, you can report that, you know? So if you done paid this person $3,000 and they gave you a crystal and told you what to do.
Oh, that's what you meant by the crystals and the oils.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Golly. Okay, I'm with it now. I'm with it.
I'm not going to say the name. Tell me now, but
you get the right essential oil, the right crystal, you know, and you look at the sky for Haley's Comet to come over and your depression will magically go away.
Yeah. And if you have
the
a heavy
Scientology way.
if you have a heavy following too, then people automatically believe that you are validated. And so I think that just becomes scary, you know, real talk of thinking like this person is legit.
Well, and you bring up a good point because they'll often be very present on social media. They'll have a large following and people are susceptible to the cult of personality where because there's a lot of people that are subscribing to this, it must be right. And to me, that's dangerous because how many times in your life can you think of where somebody who had a high status, high following or whatever has turned out not to be the person that they presented themselves and caused a lot of harm to people?
Not cult leaders. Because that's basically what that is. I'm not trying to be funny, but that low-key is what it is. If you can, because hearing you say that, and I don't mean to interrupt, I Kanye'd you. I Kanye'd you. Hearing you say that. Hearing you say that makes me think of like you gotta convince your people. You gotta hustle. You gotta have a buy-in. Everybody instead of them paying on Venmo or whatever, like the co-leaders are having people literally drink Kool-Aid and shit like that. So it's
Jim Jones.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, what's the? There's no difference to me.
Well, and that. That social credit that they get because they have all these people.
Oh, social credit. Say that again, Mark.
Social credit.
Okay.
That they
Not
have
the
because
is that different from street cred?
I would say yeah, because some of the people subscribing don't necessarily have any street value.
Boy!
Guess who's
Messy.
Damn.
I said it.
This the Stella.
But
Stella for me.
Say it with your
but when you're looking at somebody that has this social evidence that tells you that this person must know what they're talking about, it's hard to break away for people to break away from that, because how can all these people think, say it's right or do this and say that this worked for them, and it must be a problem with me. And when the coaches don't necessarily know what they're doing, and again, I know there are coaches that are very good at what they do, it becomes dangerous, because now you create a situation in a person where they now feel less than, they feel as if, because 18,000 people following this, they say it's good, I must be the fucked up one, and it's shitty advice, and I see it all the time. You can scroll.
Yeah. But who's spending the money on this?
Average people.
Yeah, people who probably don't have it, but they're making it happen.
Yeah.
Don't you think if I don't know, got some type of plastic surgery, changed the way I looked, went out there to go sell these rich people some shit, I would be able to do that. And I'd be able to charge whatever, because that would be my targeted audience, because that's my get down.
That would be.
You know what I mean? Like,
whoa.
But then it's like there's so many. Like, where is the supply and demand? I guess that's what I'm asking. Because
experience.
Because I'm just one more point. Because insurance covers therapy and covers stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? I just thought about it. Yeah. It is because therapy has the stigma and life coach doesn't.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So normally I would say, you target the people that have the money to pay. And so if they're paying $10,000, $20,000, it's not really affecting them. And yeah, ideally I could see that. But the thing is, there's a lot of people that don't have that kind of money, that they'll find a way to make it affordable to them, where they'll be paying more than they have actually, where it's like, listen, if you just pay me $200 every 2 weeks and do this, and we can work together in this, and this person doesn't have 2 pennies to pinch together, and they'll prey on whoever they can get to pay the money. And as long as the money's coming in, that's
they got you,
and the second it doesn't, they don't have the ethical obligations that we have to make sure that there's a continuity of care.
Listen, because think about it.
Mark has them sounding like they're pinky out there on the street. Like, hey,
they are.
For real, because it's
where
people
the fuck's
who
my
can't
money?
afford it, but all of that is like just being blinded to what social media has to offer anyway. And just to kind of go off what you were saying, listen, it's people that'll go out here, they'll get their body done, all this, and then sit up here and sell you some tea that they never used to get that body, or in the gym when you never visit, but you went to the doctor, So again, it's just a facade. So even somebody who's pulling up in a Wraith or whatever and saying, oh my God, I've done this and I could coach you. Yeah, if you don't have it, you're gonna try to make it where you can have it because you want that status quo too, so but people be leery of therapy and don't want to pay the therapist prices because of the stigma, but then you again will pay Sheila with the Stones. So I'm just saying,
boy.
Sheila with the Stones,
Becky with the good
pocket
hair,
full of stones.
Oh my gosh,
Sheila with the Stones coming in hard. But it's and that's one of the things that always dumbfounded me when I had a client that had a life coach, because they'll come into therapy, we'll start doing some work, and part of the reason I say, a lot of the people that I've seen that the life coaches are working with don't have the money to be paying, because the clients that I've had almost universally that have had their own life coaches at some point hit a financial struggle where it's like, hey, listen, I'm struggling. I can't make the copay. Now, they paid their life coach $200 this week. With a $25 copay.
I ain't got it.
And
I ain't got it.
Wait, is this a true story that happened to you?
True.
I think
and more than
I ain't
once.
got
No, I was just gonna say because I think this is the second time you brought it up. Mark's still Mark's mad about that
Bitch
shit.
better have my money.
You don't got my money, but you got this bitch's money.
Well, yeah.
Are you? But
Listen.
don't make yourself sound like a pinky.
Well, but my whole thing is like,
I know
if
your
my-
name, Money Mark.
Money making Mark.
if I'm working with my client though, and something comes up, I'll work with them.
Oh, facts. Yeah,
'Cause we do that.
100%.
and it's
Because we
100%
do.
ethical.
Yeah.
to do that.
I will always stay within my ethical code, and I understand, if you don't have money, you don't have money. But it dumbfounds me that you can spend the money on the life coach that has no credentials. If you go tell the life coach you're going to jump off the building, they may
Yeah.
just hang up on you.
Yeah.
Because most of the time they're talking over the phone.
Right.
They're not even meeting these people in
Refill
person
your
or whatever.
time.
And they'll tell you pay the bill before you jump, and that's about it. We have an ethical obligation to make sure our clients are okay. And it frustrates me because I'll go, with a client I'm working with, I'll go to the ends of the earth to make sure
Yeah.
they have what they need.
Yeah.
It's what we do ethically. It's what we do as therapists and all that. But to look me in the eye and tell me you don't have the money after you told me you took that money,
You done fucked up now.
and everything. And again, it's not like I stand up in the session, smack them around, go, where the hell's my money? But it's like,
Tell them how to.
that's right. Get the glove. But it's frustrating because as a therapist, you're trying to help. And you have things that are undercutting and undermining and everything, and it creates a lot more problems. It triangulates the client sometimes because do I listen to my coach or do I listen to my therapist
Yeah.
when they're in disagreement, and guess who they listen to?
Right. And that's
The
sad.
one they're paying cash to.
Yeah.
That's sad though, because the therapist, you're in the trenches, like really
Yeah.
working hard.
Yeah.
I had someone invite me to a webinar for somebody that was like doing healing your inner child, and I was like, oh, okay. But I was thinking, fuck, I do this, but okay, you want me to, and so I joined in, and I was like, hell nah, because you could tell it was like a cookie cutter thing, but they had like the slideshow, and it was just so jacked up of the information, but they were just throwing it out there, and they were like, okay, it's only 10 spots left. Like it was like almost like an auction. Like only 10 spots left. Like you got to get in. But it was such BS. And I was thinking, this is not okay. Like what they were talking about of working with you, of healing your inner child was just wrong. And I don't know where she found the slideshow, because you could tell that it was used for something else. Like the words was jacked up. And I was like, man, but when she did that altar call to come up and join, it was like, I'm going to get in. And I was like, hell no. Like,
Altar call for
of like, if
the
you
basket
really
gaming?
No, that's church. Church is an altar call when you
Come
go
on
up
up
to the,
and help me cast out your demons.
Yeah, exactly. That's the altar.
Well, that's what I thought we were talking. Like, they had to go give their.
Satan leave this person
I'll lay hands on you.
Like
for
now
$10.99.
you're a healer.
for $11.
Well, that's why I picked
You can do it too. Get the
Shamika's passing the
jacket.
buck.
Get the jacket.
She's like the person coming to
Beyond
America
Satan.
where she's putting like the chicken wings in the basket.
Right.
Your cancer is healed.
This ain't trash.
Listen, if you pay this, you will be blessed. But
Get up and walk, my son.
slap you with the jacket. Heal, bitch.
Okay, so what's the altar then for real? Or would
But what happened is basically it was just baiting you into like you join this webinar pre-recorded, and then they're like, we only have 10 spots available, and I'm thinking, how do you even know that? Like, if it's pre-recorded, how do we even know that they keep going? It's only 4 spots left.
Well, you know what they're
get
doing.
in
They're creating a scarcity to get more people to buy.
well,
Yeah. So then by the end, people are like, I really want to join. I want more. I want to be healed. like, I have those traumas, and it's like, again.
Yeah. One of my
Did they have to pay for that?
Yes! Yes.
More. And that's that's one of the things with coaching. It's always like, well, we can do this, but if you want this,
exactly,
there's more. Whereas therapists, what we do is like we put it all on the table and we work with the clients and let them go where they need to go with it. And we can't be like, well, I could partially heal your trauma, but for $75 more,
you get the
I
full
can heal
EMDR.
more of the trauma.
Right. Like, I just touch you one time for $50.
No, we cannot touch people.
No, we can't.
That
We
costs
can't.
extra.
Let's just say.
That costs extra.
That is the wrong profession.
I think when I think of therapists
That's my
doing
other
that,
job. Sorry.
I think of like therapists, like we don't do the work. The
Right.
client has to do
Right.
the work. A life coach is just telling them what to do. So basically, it's just like taking, taking the shortcut. Shortcut. I use that super loose.
Yeah.
Because if you just pay somebody just to tell you what to do, it's gonna be real easy for me to say like, you got me fucked up. Like I followed you, and this is what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With an actual good therapist
Right.
that follows that
Right.
of allow the client does all the
Yep.
work.
Yeah.
There is no finger to point.
Yep.
It goes right back to the client.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
That's good though, because it's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot the point to that, but that's what I was thinking right now.
So
It's good.
one of my absolute favorite styles of life coaching is neurolinguistic programming. Do
I
you
never
guys-
heard of that.
is it something that is billable?
There are therapists that have done training in neurolinguistic programming. To some degree, I would say all of us. To a lot of people that are not in our field, it sounds pretty impressive. And basically what it is, it's the language we use and how it programs our brain, right? The words we choose, how we describe ourselves and everything. And, again, for somebody that's not in the field, this is...
I mean, I'm in the field and I don't know her.
you actually...
Right. That's what
I'm like,
Well,
I
you
don't know
actually probably know exactly what this is.
I didn't
because
take
we use
doctor
different
classes.
No,
Mark.
but even in master's programs, we use different words for it, like negative self-beliefs.
Oh.
Negative
Like
self-talk. CBT.
Oh.
And it's repackaged in this way. And
you
life
fancy, huh?
coaches will, this is one of the specialties that they have where they just teach you to change the language and it changes everything about you.
Oh.
And they sell, and this is one of the specialties in life coaching where they sell these packages to people for thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars, depending on what kind of backing they have, social evidence and whatever they're selling. And it really chaps my ass because it's it's a lot of shit that we just do, but we also have an understanding of why we look into why the clients have these negative self-beliefs, have negative self-talk and all that stuff. And they don't, they just say, stop saying, it's basically stop saying that to yourself, say this instead.
Stop that shit.
Yeah. Knock the shit off.
I mean, again, it's like a salesman.
It is.
But
It
a salesman
is.
for your life. It does
Oh, wait. Say that shit again.
salesman for your life.
Right there.
Listen, I feel like in another life I was probably one because I could see myself being like, but see, that's my
Yeah.
that's
You-
my
a
negative.
hustle. You can finesse.
Well, that's what I mean, and then I probably would be a
Yeah.
terrible person because then I
Well, we're not saying they're terrible people.
no
all of
because
them.
I started thinking about Pinky.
Speak for yourself. Fuck you, me.
Yes,
It's like the salesperson that sells you that car. You know it's a limit. And
But
it's like
but we're assuming that everybody that's a life coach is giving somewhat sound advice. I'm thinking of the motherfuckers like, you know what?
Oh, no, I'm not assuming that at all.
It's probably best that you save me the 5,000 because we're going to need it for your retainer for these life lessons, and
Right.
I'll call you when I feel one coming to me type shit. Like a Miss Cleo. I'm
Yeah.
just joking, not like Miss Cleo, but one that claims
Alleged.
yeah.
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 Well, you say some shit, because you
She's been
with your
chomping at the
side.
bit.
No. What I'm saying though to you was that I know people that are life coaches who are amazing.
Exactly.
Who have amazing gifts, amazing skills, right?
Yeah.
That are not hustling people.
Yeah.
I even had one reach out to me and say, hey, I have a client that I'm working with, but what I'm doing is more like therapy.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's respect because that
Absolutely.
person is saying, I'm willing to mess up my bag to get the person what they really need and say, hey, this is more of a therapy thing. Or even for me as a therapist, I've had someone come in and to me, they would fit more into like my mentoring type program.
Right.
You know, it's a step down, you know, like community support things. So the difference is just, I'm talking to the finessers, the hustlers, you know, those people.
I think I'm just coming down to like morals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming from with that. And
So speak on that.
as a therapist, that doesn't have a say so. I mean, it shouldn't. Again, a good therapist, because I'm sure that happens in our
there
field
are shitty
too.
therapists.
Yeah.
But I feel that in their arena, it can be way more abused.
Oh yeah.
Super abused to where I don't know. Like it just reminds me, you always see these news of people being hustled out of their money, hustled out of their house. They lost their, even like celebrity, everybody that has money loses their money because of somebody that they know did this shit.
Scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and I agree with you, the ethical aspects of it. And
let me be clear. It's not all. I'm not generalizing all.
There's no way we could do that.
No. Yeah, no.
We're too smart for that.
I have had encounters with life coaches that, like Shamika had said, where they're like, listen, this is getting outside of what I do.
Yeah.
And so they refer them to therapists. And, and when you have that happen, they're usually not interfering with what you're doing with your client and everything. And I know some therapists that also do coach and do other things, and they keep those things very separate. And so what we're bagging on are the ones that, are dangerous because they aren't following those things. They're basically just in it for the money. They will get in there. They will
the hustler.
They will bilk you for whatever they can get, and the second you can't, they're gone. And it's problematic. And I know there are therapists that do that, and I know it goes with any profession, but it really, because it's in an unregulated field, it's far more dangerous to me, for the public, because since coaching carries less stigma than, saying, hey, I'm going to go see my therapist because, I've had all this shit happen. People are more inclined to go that route and pay that money. And, some of the people they're talking to, they don't have the background that would allow them to actually do what the person needs, and it can cause problems. If they ventured into the trauma field but they don't really understand trauma, that could go a million different ways.
Have you ever seen their curriculum?
Yes.
What'd you think about it?
The ones that I saw, horseshit.
I haven't seen it.
But to be fair,
listen, it's 3 days and you better get it together because in 3 days they're teaching them the shit that allegedly took us 2 years and some money to learn and get.
The ones I were looking at, they didn't come with that. They were just saying, I'm very passionate about and then for an hour phone call for $500, we could talk about your.
What you're starting to see now, though, too, is like for coaching training. For coaching training, you're actually starting to see it enter into the academic field where there actually are degrees specific to coaching at different levels, which, if they're granted, colleges tend to look to get more money. So I do understand that aspect of it too. But what you're seeing, though, is more formalization of the education needed to get into the field, which will be beneficial at some point. But when you're talking about like some of the coaching programs that are out there that you can go online and you can, do that, the curriculums I've seen, it's a glancing overview of year one of psychology at best.
Cliff Notes for Dummies.
Yeah. Psychology for Dummies.
not the
yellow book. You remember that shit in school?
Yeah, the shit I took all my notes from. California public
going to
school system.
I read the whole play.
Right. See, that's some BS, though. But I think it goes back to what Casey was saying, too, of like your morals and your ethics. Because if we wasn't a therapist, we have a gift of healing and empowering people and all that. Yeah, we could have easily been a hustler. You know, like, listen.
You already are. What are you talking about?
I could have had that wraith by now. You know, like out here, like I'm gonna empower you. You know, like
coming next week.
So,
Shamika Green, life coach.
Yeah, I wouldn't be dancing at Hustlers.
I think it's just like probably like the top 5% is what I'm thinking of, and I can't. And that's what my perception is of that realm, and so it won't like ever leave that. So I know just whenever you guys are talking and you guys are speaking on probably these really amazing people, but I'm still seeing like a sleaze, like person in a slick ass suit, and it's like you want to, you know, it's like every fucking rom-com movie, all that shit where, you know, you're going to get your Cinderella moment of the reveal of, hey, I got all this self-esteem. Right. I got a new haircut. I got some new clothes. Yeah. Bitch, watch out. Here I come. All because of my life coach. You know what I mean? And it's, I don't know that, and it's just that top percent. And and so, you know, shout out to the ones that are the real ones, but in my head, it's like a dude that looks like it's like a dude that looks like Christian Bale from American Psycho.
Okay,
he looks like
Well, and you know, one of my encounters with a client that I had that had a life coach that was also helping them with anxiety. You know, one of the things that came into conflict was the life coach said, we can eliminate all of your anxiety and you just do this. And I told my client, I'm like, get your money back. It's not going to happen. Life has anxiety. You never eliminate all of the anxiety in life. Life has anxiety. It's about learning to cope with it. It's about learning to navigate it, but you're going to have it at some point.
What does your client say?
They go, no, I think my life coach knows what and I'm like,
See, you got those like lottie-dog clients that are just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Sounds good, bro. But because I'm wondering, we come off as realists because we are. Yeah. We're not making promises.
Right.
At all. They're making promises.
Yeah.
And they may or may not be keeping them, but they'll making them. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll make them.
And so I just don't know the get down of like trying to spin it for it to be on them and not the life coach, but whatever, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just always think of, I don't know, we look like the pessimists, you know what I mean? We don't look like the optimistic people that want, like, I don't know. And then like I see a stereotypical client of a life coach. Yeah. And that just comes from like our culture. It's always like somebody that's not good looking, which makes no fucking sense. Somebody that is is so desperate or comes from the fucking nothing or lives out in the country. It's always
in the trap.
Yeah. It's always something like that. And then it's like,
I would agree.
I'm going to pay whatever. Like, what's that?
I'm going to be a life coach.
School for Scoundrels. There we go.
Yeah.
School for Scoundrels.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that shit is.
Yeah.
I hate that therapists, though, have such a stigma because when I logged on to social media, it was a debate. Yeah. And I almost got into it. And I was like, we don't. No, I was protecting my peace. And I was like, that sounds crazy for me to rat for all therapists on this post. But somebody had made a post of like, therapists think that they're all that because they are this and that approved. But life coaches are this, and this. And I couldn't believe it. And I was like, somebody really trying to fuck with my peace. Because I'm reading it and people were like, yeah, I had a therapist and she didn't do this and then do that, but the life coach really helped me do this. And I was like, oh, this is so reckless.
Well, because you're kissing their ass.
Yeah, at the end of the day, people are paying coaches to fix things and not learning how to fix things on their own. And it's like a drug dealer because once you become reliant on the coach, guess what? Every time there's adversity, You go back to the coach. You're like,
Tyrone.
y'all got some more of that life coaching over there?
I need some more of that advice. That real good advice we be talking about. That be costing me real good.
Raw advice. Damn, that's real though.
That real advice wrapped in gold.
Wait, could you imagine though, as a therapist, like Mark said, if we were like shady and being like, I can only do part of your trauma.
Right.
But if you come back,
We'd be sued in a week.
$5,000. Guess
Not
what?
even a week, less
Guess
than that.
what?
Well, lawyers move slow
That
sometimes.
trauma be gone. We got it.
Yeah.
Boy, if you could do that,
I mean,
damn.
that would be like a therapist superpower.
For real.
Right.
It would just be like
There'd
the actual magic, whatever. Magic. If you had the magic wand, how would you change your life? Oh,
The solution focused question.
Yeah.
boy.
If I had a crystal ball
You ain't shit.
Get
and
her
everything
crystals.
was different, right? Sharing with the stones. That
I
would be
think
me.
like some of that stuff is cultural though too.
True.
So because there is some, like especially in my culture, there is some stones where they, there's just some not superstitions, but
Beliefs.
remedies
Yeah.
Yeah.
that are supposed to help. And like I'm with the shit. Like the Hispanic one is if you're
Right.
sick, you rub an egg all over you.
Culture wise.
Culture wise.
That is a difference.
Okay.
Okay.
Does that ever get messy?
No, because I mean,
You don't crack the egg?
no, you do crack the egg. You crack it in a bowl, and if you see like I think it says like an eye in there, it's what was
No, I mean when you're rubbing it all over you.
no,
You don't crack the egg all over you?
No.
That's a Saturday night.
no.
You an
Get
egg.
the bologna.
No, so see, that is totally different, and that's just like how with the oil, like I have oil and I'm talking about holy oil, things like that. Like it's the motive and the intent behind it. So I'm not saying like all stones, are issues, but I'm talking about if you just believe somebody that just has a pocket full and they're telling you that this is what it's going to be if I rub it on your lips. Yeah, that is an issue.
Not the magic. The
I'm
magic
about to stand
beans.
on that.
The magic beans.
The magic
For magic beans.
Just going to rub this on your lips.
Yeah, I was like, fuck. Like, I mean, what kind of life coaching is that? Because
Close your eyes.
Yeah, maybe I'll be
Remember
into
the
it.
secret, keep in
Shamika,
practice.
go ahead and give me that business card.
He's nuts on your forehead.
What? You can tell it's so hot here. Like she's coming out of pocket now. It's so hot.
A teabag you.
Boy,
But that's extra
that does cost extra, and I bet you people. I mean, they do pay it.
every
They
time.
do. Yeah, they do pay it every day.
Every time.
Every day.
You want this golden shower?
Boy.
What is in that water?
Yeah, it's not.
time.
It's not. I know I'm speaking spicy, but not like that.
Wow.
What else you got on your phone, Mark? As far as
I think we've actually
Right, you came prepared.
I think we've actually hit all the points and everything.
not hit all the points.
Hit all the points.
So
I mean, granted, the whole teabagging thing wasn't
Yeah.
on there. That was a little bit of a
That
shock.
was
but
extra.
see, this is literally like the first day of school for kids
Oh,
too.
hell yeah.
Like where everybody, you just show up in your new clothes. You're probably bad as hell for the teachers. Ain't
Right,
nobody
that's me.
listening. Yeah, that's
Yep.
her.
Good morning, boys and girls.
You see her, even her voice is different. So I'm like, I'm living for this is little Shamika for sure. Like this
Oh,
is
yeah.
at like high
for
school.
sure.
this whole
This
season
one's
gonna
high
get
school,
out of
yeah.
pocket.
What did you do for the summer?
Yeah, have a cool
It's
summer.
me.
She's been practicing. She's gonna be out of pocket the whole season.
Yeah.
Right.
So since we got that done, let's talk about what we did for the summer. Do you want to know what Shamika and I did this summer?
What's that?
What did we do this summer, Shamika?
You tell it. Because you did a lot.
We did well.
Yeah. So don't get on here and be modest.
So
Okay.
wait, let's not do that. Let's
Well, now she's talking about let's not do that. The smoke.
look at
Let's not do that.
I'm gonna need Shamika Green up to the front of the class. Shut the fuck up. Let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
What do you guys want? What do you guys want to see this season?
No. How did did you just skip past that?
What we do this summer? Mark, what'd you do this summer? And then I'll hit it with
This
what
summer,
we did this summer.
We actually just got back from summer vacation Sunday. We did a little traveling. We were on the East Coast and the Midwest visiting family, friends.
That's right.
You know, my girls were living their best lives.
See?
Made the mistake of ordering a room service one day, and they're like, "Dad, we can't go to the restaurant today. We need a room service." And I'm like,
that's why he's money Mark.
See, yeah.
My kids would not be getting
This is
room
money
service.
making Mark.
I'm going to be giving hand jobs on Boulder to pay for that shit, but
Well, if I see you, I'm going to come
Plus a little
with my gentle parenting and my shit and be like, hey,
with your
you
strong
looking for a
hand.
life coach? You looking for a life coach?
Strong hand.
a strong hand.
If you're going on Boulder, you're going to need it.
Work both of them.
The image right now. Not
A lot more
double
efficient
fisting.
a lot more efficient to go two at once.
You gotta go for each one of your kids. Dang.
That's right.
All right, Casey.
So what did you guys do this summer?
Work. We didn't get to take. Well, I'm gonna speak for me. I did take a vacation last week, and I didn't do shit. I had lunch with Shamika, and
Yeah.
I went to the urgent care because I got my leg ripped up and got some glue stitches.
Oh, nice.
They popped. My leg looks like it's Frankenstein right now. Yeah, might have to go get a touch up on this this tattoo.
Oh. And you were at lunch like that, right?
Yeah, I literally just splashed water on it, threw a Band-Aid on it, and then went to go meet her for
Insane.
like happy hour.
Right.
And had margaritas that were
You can't
bomb as
interrupt
hell.
happy hour.
Bomb as hell.
And then left like, oh, I'm getting ready to go to urgent. I'm like,
Yeah, because then when I saw my
I think
husband,
this is infected.
that's how it happened. I was like, "Hey, baby, I just came back from hanging out with my girl," and he's like, "Oh," all hyping me up, like, "How's she doing?" That's not how he talks, but
shout out to Spoon.
It's okay,
yeah,
Spoonie.
what's up, Spoonie? It was
Spoon?
Spoonie's birthday last Saturday.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
Spoonie.
Spoon Dog.
Yes. And he saw that shit and he was like, "Yo, you didn't go," like, I was like, "No." He's like, "You need to go get a tetanus shot." When do you have a tetanus shot? I said, "I don't fucking know."
Every 10 years.
Yeah, I didn't know
Look at
that.
little Casey, just
Didn't know
out
that.
here bleeding.
I ended up telling somebody at work, they're like, "That is the most Mexican thing you've ever can do. That is just not
Put
taking
some
yourself
rubber
to
testing on
yeah. my
She's
dad
fine.
would, yeah, my dad would not take me
She's
to the
fine.
hospital for
Put
that shit.
Band-Aid on. He's fine.
I got a white boy for a husband, so I had to go to the doctor. Go to vacation.
You do not have to do this.
All right, what you do?
First of all, we wrapped up the 909 and the 313 podcast, which was so dope, which is part of SCM Productions.
SCM Productions, shout out.
Yeah.
Doing 2 podcasts now.
2 podcasts. I didn't do anything fun. It was work. I'm in the middle of finishing my book, and I got like 7 days to finish.
What's the book?
It's called Black Hearts. And so
Ooh.
it's a double series.
Story of life coaches.
I'm
Black Hearts. Golly.
you buy it, you get a free stone. Free therapy session. No, but for real.
Therapy session. I'm trying to get rich, bitch.
Buy the book, get the shit for free.
Baby.
No, for real. But sorry. But for real, I've been in my writer's bag and I am excited about that. Like, you know how you really stepping into your shit. And so I just been fighting imposter syndrome. Like, but you got it. Like, you're good. And so I'm so hype about it. Like, yeah, super hype.
What's funny is I spoke with Shamika. I didn't know she had her own publishing company, too.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Because I was
Tell
talking
me
about...
how you tell.
Well, because I was thinking we should add that in, because I was thinking of starting to write some of my own books. And she goes, I have my own publishing company. I'm like, Are you fucking
The
serious?
flex is different.
Yeah. Oh boy. That's the difference. She's like, that's the difference. You're the doctor. I'm the publishing powerhouse.
Yeah.
No, for real. I
Dr.
think because I
Brana.
don't talk about stuff people don't know. And it'd be like, oh, this
I
is
didn't know
yours.
that you did have the public. I knew
Yeah.
you wrote books.
Right,
But I also
right.
want, because I was looking into getting publishing done and everything. I'm like, why don't we do this on our end?
Right,
And everything.
right.
And then she's like, I already got mine. I'm like, well, fuck.
You got to get yours.
That's cool. If
I
you
got
want
to
to
get
book.
mine.
All right. So final thoughts.
Listen to your therapist. Fuck the life coach.
Listen to your therapist. Fuck the life coach.
No, don't actually fuck the life coach. I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Please.
Probably
Just listen
already
to your
happening.
therapist.
Probably already happening with the slick dude.
Oh, you on last?
Casey always goes last.
I don't ever know what to say.
Hate this bitch.
I don't ever know what to say. That's why you want me to go right now.
Damn. All right. Well, on some serious shit though, like I do call for people to really be intentional about their healing, but trust your gut too when you're doing things, not what you see, not what other people are like portraying, but you can find an amazing therapist and you can find an amazing life coach, but you have to I feel like you got to trust yourself and not just go with the crowd. Because I've met people who have a million kind of followers and you'll meet them and it's like, what? This is a shitty person,
Never
but
meet your heroes.
man, yeah. I saved that Tyson story for later. Or did I say it already?
Yeah, you said it.
Okay, well,
Mike
I'll
Tyson?
tell it again.
Oh, I think it was on
No,
909. I think you
the
guys got to
model.
listen to it on the 909-313 podcast because it's definitely on that one.
Right.
Cicely Tyson?
Yeah. No.
Boy, don't talk about Mississippi. God, Whitney out here fucking. Mark, I don't need the ghost of Whitney to be coming for me because I'm saying this close to you.
Don't say it, Nip.
Talking about her auntie like that.
Nippy. You guys are out of pocket. Can I say that?
No,
We're out of pocket.
I was going to say that.
You're
that was gonna be,
really out of pocket. I've never.
you have.
Never.
I like what you said about just trusting your gut. I think going with that, don't feel you have to share all the most intimate parts of you with everybody or
True.
with just random people that you're paying money to, because some of that shit should be held and kept sacred for somebody that's going to actually be careful with it and take care of it, and you can trust that you're going to have that. So that would be my final advice. No, I don't want to give advice. See, I'm a therapist. See how I stopped that? Boom.
Yep.
Boy, I'm so good. All right. So
we're looking forward to hearing what everybody wants to hear this season. You can email us at theprofessorspodcast@yahoo.com.
Send a hate mail.
Send the hate mail. We will read it all. Thank you, everybody that's been texting and emailing and saying they wondering when we were coming back.
Right.
We're back now, and we'll catch you again in a couple weeks.
make sure that you don't fuck with my money or my D.
Ow.
Ow.